I think we should just start by saying this is episode 50. That is crazy. We've done 50 episodes of this thing. We've been doing it for over 2 years.
Like when we start
over
with
2 years.
This is episode 50. Push the point.
But I think at 50 we can get away with it.
No, we can. I was going to turn around and say,
to celebrate. Yeah.
My hair is getting way too long. I was going to say it's been 3 months.
3 months
since we started the podcast, you've not had a haircut.
No, that was you. That was you at one stage.
Yeah.
Near the very start, you were like,
mine was long.
You had
really
long
yeah.
hair.
That's
really
true.
Long. I had a man bun.
Pirate Orlando Bloom.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Trendy.
I am going for a haircut on Wednesday. I've got a decision to make.
Oh,
really?
No, we're going to a fancy dress party on Friday, which is Peaky Blinders, right?
Are you full committed?
Well, so I normally go for a fade anyway, so I've got to decide whether to go for the full commit sides off.
Do it.
Like,
do it.
I could keep the normal bit. Got to decide. Anyway, I've got my weight. Of course, I've got a waistcoat and a bow tie and a jacket. Anyway, I have that in the cupboard. But
go for it.
Got a pocket watch. Got a flat cap.
I think it'll look alright. You look good in a flat cap with a side fade as well.
I mean, I've got I might just go for a really aggressive fade rather than a complete like.
Do it, Simon. And by the way, everyone, we record on a Monday, so by the time you hear this, it's happened.
Yeah,
so
it's happened.
You'll also go, do it, Simon.
Yeah. So yeah, who knows what will happen on Wednesday? By the time this comes out, I might be a changed man.
Is this your home news though? Is this? I guess
we haven't started home news yet.
Home news.
Because I don't want to rush this, but we've got so much to talk about in this episode. I think we've got to get straight stuck into. Can I start with home news? Because I have some very recent home news.
Go for it. What is it?
Literally an hour ago, me and Kate ripped one of our kitchen drawers out of the kitchen.
What?
And
did you Hulk it out?
Literally remove the drawer because on Wednesday getting a dishwasher. First time I've had a dishwasher since I lived with my parents. That's over.
I was going to say, did you go?
It's the beginning of the end, mate. Once you go there, you can't go back.
Well, we've wanted one for such a long time, and we were told it was a tough job by someone else in this building. Took the thing and they said it was a tough job. It was quite a tough job, but ripped it out. Got no one to help with. Actual proper way. Got the toolbox out. I hit it with a hammer at one point.
You're feeling good with yourself right now.
I do feel good. Yeah. I feel good.
Did you walk away?
You should do.
I did. Yeah. I was like, yeah, I'm happy with that. And then on Wednesday, someone's going to come and fit a dishwasher. We're not going to do that bit ourselves because I'm not working with water.
Do you know what? Dishwashers are actually not hard to fit.
No, they're not.
Yeah,
actually. You just got to put the down pipe in the.
Is it an integrated one?
Plug it in.
It is an integrated one. Hence why we had to remove the entire unit, and then we put the door. The door back on the front of the dishwasher.
Yeah, the hardest bit is going to be mounting the door to the front of the dishwasher.
Well, that bit we're not doing. That's someone's doing that for us.
They usually come with like a stencil, like a template where you have to put it on the back of the door. Yeah. Anyway,
but I've wanted a dishwasher for so long. It is incredible how messy a kitchen looks if you don't do the dishes. Your kitchen is just messy.
Mm-hmm.
You've got a dishwasher. It's clean because you just put your dirty dishes in the dishwasher.
We know.
You guys know.
I spent ages resisting the conversion to dishwasher.
Why?
I just thought it was bad for energy, bad for them. Like,
no, it's not. It's actually better for. Yeah,
it's probably best
because
it's not water.
Kate was saying you use less water than if you do wash your dishes in the sink because it's more economical with the water. Now the electricity, fair play, but apparently with the water, it's
it depends on the cycle, I guess. Anyway,
depends on the cycle.
We're there. It's fine.
I think that's a proper bit of home news. Actually, doing some stuff.
Well done. Well done. You're a man. I like it. I may be a man, but I'm not a plumber.
No, I'm not. That's what my dad would say. Never mess with electrics or water. I think that's what he said. Anything to do with water or electric, get someone else to do it for you. Everything else you can do.
It reminds me of a story of when I tried to fit a light, an actual fit a whole light bit in.
Yeah.
And I went and turned. My old house used to have like a really old fuse box where it didn't actually have the switches. It actually had fuse. Had to put a new fuse in. I know it was wild. And it had all it was just this 1 mega on off whole house on, whole house off. That was literally it. I
What?
know, it was
Wow,
wild.
really?
Yeah, it was wild. So one day there was like 4 fuses. It just went like it had downstairs, upstairs, and someone else. The downstairs is I took that, I just pulled that out. There was like a side wall, like what's it? Was it a wall light? Yeah, a wall light.
Right.
And I went, right, okay. So all I have to do is, and I was saying to Faye because the copper wires were poking out really long. So all I have to do is just grab it here,
Oh.
and I went fucking. I just threw the shit on the floor. I was like, what? I took the thing out, and I was like, what? How am I supposed to know the downstairs didn't mean
It's on a different side.
Oh, it was So, and then I had literally 2 holes where the electricity went in one through the whole body and came out the fucking other. And then I spoke to my mate. And I was like, "Can you help me do this?" And he said, "How do you know it's off?" I said, "I don't know." And he said, "Give me a spoon." He said, "I'm a welder, not an electrician." Anyway, so my home news. I'm going on holiday.
Hey,
Yeah, I'm going on
Where are
holiday.
you actually going, Hamish?
Belgium.
Oh, you actually? Yeah.
a week late.
Week
I know.
late, yeah.
Everyone's like, "Are you coming to? Why don't you come to Antwerp?" I was like, "Fuck, I ain't going to Belgium twice in 1 month." What do you think I am, mad? So yeah, I'm going to Belgium. I'm driving for the first time to Belgium.
Going on a ferry?
No, Eurotunnel.
Eurotunnel. Very nice. Yeah.
So I remember doing that when I was a kid. My dad used to drive to Haven holiday place in France.
Yeah.
Get on the Eurotunnel. So we're going to do that Brexit style, so it's going to be miserable trying to get into
I think
Europe.
Trip and I have spoken about this. Like growing up in Kent, you do a lot of day trips to France for the beer, for the booze cruise.
Eurotunnel. And we always did Eurotunnel because my mum didn't like the ferry, but we did a lot of school trips as well because you could just get a bunch of kids on the ferry, go over.
Have you ever played on a ferry? Have you ever played a drinking game called Port to Port?
No.
Sounds like you have to keep drinking till you reach the next port.
You have to drink a whole bottle of port between Dover and Calais.
What?
I reckon I could do that.
Yeah.
I like port.
Yeah,
I did
a lot of port recently. Yeah, I drank port on the podcast, didn't I? The one we did on the
you did.
It's tasty stuff. I really like it. I used to be a bit about it, but I've had it. I keep getting it as Christmas presents. And
that fortified wine. Wow,
it's nice.
Well, so I'm going to Belgium. I'm driving on the wrong side of the road for the first time in my life, and I thought, what better to figure out whether I can do this properly or not than to put my entire most valuable things in my life, otherwise known as my family, in the car with me as I discover how to learn to drive on the wrong road.
Yes. You'll be fine.
I'll be fine. I've got one rule my dad taught me, who drove around in France quite a lot with his literal Citroen 2CV.
Nice.
Says, curb is on your side. That's it. The curb is on your side. I'm like,
that's true.
Okay, I'll give it a go. So the roundabouts, I think, will get me. And you go, right. But it's the other way. It's the other way. It's not the left, it's the right.
They don't have there's not a huge
roundabout thing in Europe.
Yeah.
They don't have many.
You wait, and I'll get to Belgium. They're like, welcome to the land of roundabouts. It's like Milton Keynes.
It's also not that far, is it, Belgium? Like
no, 30 minutes. It's 30 minutes into France, and then you're in Belgium.
Yeah, you cross the border pretty quick.
When I get
and it's mostly on the motorways there anyway.
Yeah, but when I get into France, it's a 3-hour trek from when I get into France into the centre parks. So
central Belgium.
Yeah, somewhere I don't know where there's Google Maps.
Oh, it's a centre parks in Belgium. That's
you know
cool.
that centre parks is actually a European thing that
I did not know. I just assumed it was a UK thing.
This is a classic UK thing where we go, see,
it's ours. It's not really. Why do you think? Well, Trip. Why do you think they spell it with a C?
Yeah.
Oh, because it's just Brits being Brits, isn't it? Making it sound fancy with some.
No, it's literally.
Well, we call it centre park.
I think it's. I'm totally going to get this wrong, but it's like a Finland or Swedish thing. And and we went, oh, that's a really cool. We can put that in our country, and everyone's like, that's a British thing. It's like, yeah, of course it is, mate.
It does seem Scandinavian. Now you're talking about it, like that. Staying in kids cycling their bikes around in the forest, staying in cabins. That's actually got quite a Scandi angle, hasn't it? Yeah. Okay, I believe you. Yeah. That is. I learned something.
If you don't believe me,
today. Yeah.
There's always Google. Anyway, Simon, What's your home news?
My home news. Well, my wife was
Apart from your
out
haircut.
skating. Well, yeah, my wife was out skating, roller skating, all weekend.
Restriction day.
And she went to a skate festival in Leeds and
Right.
ended up staying at the Royal Armoury's Holiday Inn Express.
Wow.
The best hotel
I
in
know.
Leeds.
The one
So
that you guys aren't staying in.
No,
yeah, I
I've
am.
done it. I've done
I
it
am.
times.
Oh, are
I've
ya?
spent the extra
Yeah.
100 quid.
Anyway, so that was comical, but it did mean I had the children all weekend on my own, and they were relatively well behaved.
Good.
Okay.
We had a good weekend. We did some co-parenting with some friends. So on Saturday we went out to the park for a few hours, and there was
mate,
some
I know what
friends
you
there.
did. I know what you did. You went,
and then
we just want to hang out, so we don't have to. Yeah,
did.
absolutely.
And then on Sunday, one of my work friends, his wife was away for the weekend as well. So we were like, right, let's go to the farm all day. Perfect.
Yeah, I don't actually.
So the kids ran around. There's a soft play there. They saw the animals.
Yeah.
They saw the owls.
That is dad strategy. Good lad.
Dad tactics. It was a great weekend.
Yeah. Get your dad mates out. Let's all.
That sounds like a great weekend. Yeah.
It was actually a really lovely weekend. So Centre Parks. Let's find out where
are we doing
Centre
this?
Parks from. Yes, we
are.
are.
Actually googling it live on the podcast.
Yeah.
I'm so strapped in. I got.
Where was the origin? I bet you somewhere like Netherlands or Finland.
I'm gonna say Sweden.
Yeah, I think that's a good shout.
Come on. Centre Parks Europe is a European network of holiday villages that was founded in the Netherlands in 1968.
I should have said the Netherlands.
I said the Netherlands. It's so Netherlandsy. Anyway, boys, let's get drinking.
Yeah, I could.
Beer 52.
Hamish, what are you drinking?
Beer 52.
Oh God!
Box has arrived.
Wait, what you mean that thing that you were meant to cancel? But what happened?
Well, look, I explained it last time, didn't I? Right. So,
is it still the same box now?
It's the same box. I've just now I've received it. I'm going to cancel. But they actually gave me quite a lot of beers I like the sound of.
Okay.
And because I drink one pretty quick, I always take two with me. So I have got a Buxton Brewery.
Oh, Buxton's good. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a Buxton Brewery, soft focus hazy pale ale, and I've got a Good Vibes only good smash pale. Don't know what the fuck this is, but I'm going to give it a go. I've got
Was that
pails.
the Siren Brewery? Is that the Buxton one? No, the other one. Siren.
Yeah,
Nice,
that rings a bell.
I think one of you guys have had it. When I saw it, I was like, I've had this before. Anyway, Simon.
Well, guess what?
What?
I'm on call.
He's on call, everybody.
So I've upgraded. Normally, I would have a water, but I'm risking it for a biscuit tonight. I've got a Coke Zero.
That's a drink and a half.
Shin would love you.
I've done a shit. Yeah, I've done a shit.
Shout out to Shin.
It's just to be clear, Shin, not shit. Right.
Friend of the podcast.
Is that what
I've done
like?
a shit.
Big fan of.
Well, you know what caffeine does to you.
Yeah, it's true. What about you, Legolas?
Well, I thought I didn't think this. It was just the only beer I had in the fridge. But conveniently,
Foster's.
I have got a San Miguel to celebrate. New winner of the calling.
Oh, very good.
Well done. Very on theme.
Yeah, no Spanish winner, so Spanish beer, and I'm pretty sure I had a San Miguel the last when
yes, you did actually.
I
think I went and bought a Spanish beer as well.
Also, it's a big boy. It's a pint can.
It's a big boy.
Yeah, look at the size of this thing. It's as big as my face.
It's just anyway, small hands, everyone.
Yeah,
cheers, guys.
Small way to make it bigger. Small hands.
Small pleasures, right? Nikki's cut up a lemon and put some ice in my glass.
Oh, that's really nice.
It smells really delicious.
Nice. Episode 50, we're having a treat, everyone. This looks really cool.
Treat.
That was nice as well. Anyway.
Good vibes only.
Right, so that is the bit where everyone who's not interested in Flesh and Blood would like to hear. So thank you very much. Thank you very much, everyone, and I'll see you next time.
Well, before you leave, if you aren't interested in Flesh and Blood and you'd like to learn more about Flesh and Blood, you should watch our live stream, which is happening tomorrow. If you want to understand this game that we talk about, you should tune in to Push the Point on Saturday, which should be tomorrow, to watch our live stream from Badman Cafe, so you can understand the game better. If you only tune in for
home
this
news
chat.
and bullshit.
It's going to be a fab heavy episode because there's so much to talk about, Simon. What are we gonna cover in this episode of the podcast?
Well, you've already mentioned Hamish is looking at that beer as if to say, "What is going on?"
No, it's lush.
It's a taste sensation.
I'm one of you now.
Oh, he's come to the dark side.
Well, I'm getting there, one step at a time. I'm not on the stout yet.
Okay. No, you'll get there. You'll get a taste
it's
for it.
It's an acquired taste. Right. So, what have we got today? Dan Tripp has already talked about the stream that's coming up at Bad Moon Cafe on Saturday. Now, this will be our third stream as Push the Point. And Sean, the absolute hero, Sean Cherry, is come over from Armory Nights and is now part of Push the Point. And last weekend, we had our first 2 streams at Rule Zero and Boards in the City down in Southampton. Rule Zero in London, Board in the City in Southampton. And do you know what? We've been absolutely blown away by the response to those streams.
It took off it literally took off.
So as of today, we are recording on a Monday. So it's been 8 days since those streams, 9 days, 8 days, respectively. We've had over 6,000 views of those 2 streams combined. Like, it just blows my mind where that's come from.
I think it's the quality that Sean has been putting into these streams, and he didn't have a tiny channel with Armory Nights, but it was still starting up. And the thing we wanted to help Sean with was to give him a bigger audience for the work that he's doing. Because the actual kit that Sean has and the effort that Sean puts in is
phenomenal.
It is professional level. I don't say that lightly. If you actually look at the kit he has, it's professional grade, and the skill set he has is professional grade.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think just being able to put that in front of a bigger audience, we're still not, a huge channel, but we've got a good number of subscribers now. And I think it just, sometimes when you see quality, you just want to get other people to see it as well. And that's hopefully we managed to achieve that. And I know Sean is really happy too. It's the most watched stream he's ever done, I think. Correct.
It's now beating his road to his nationals coverage. Like, okay.
But it's just everything we wanted, wasn't it, guys? We wanted to I mean, I'm almost speechless at how successful it was, and it's all really down to Sean. We were just there, giving him a box to stand on, really.
And we're now also seeing the follow on from that. So we've taken a couple of the games from those streams and made them into what we like to call our classic battle series, and we've released the first of those, and it's had such a good response as well. Like, just us doing commentary over a recorded game, giving our views and what we thought of the game, and it's come out really well. Like, it's another string to our bow.
Absolutely. I thought that the stream was going to be good. I didn't doubt it wasn't going to be, in terms of the viewers and the response and the participation and everything. It was going to be good, but this outdid what I even thought my bar was. That makes sense. I was sitting there going, maybe 50. Like, I had no idea. We've never done it, so I thought maybe 50, right? Because I can only go by the streams we've done, but I know the topic is completely different. And then 170 people concurrent viewers at one. And then at the end,
people might say, Hamish, that it raised the bar.
It did. Well, I think I think what we want to be a good channel to subscribe to, right? Like, we want to provide, if you do choose to subscribe to the channel, we want to give you a lot of content. We want to make it worth your while, because we know there's there's absolutely massive competition, just not just in Fab, but for people's attention, to get you to watch our content, to listen to what we're doing. So we try to make it as good as possible, give you as much variety as possible. I think you can definitely say we've got plenty of variety on Push the Point.
We do. Literally, you started as just a podcast, maybe deck techs, and now it's deck techs and deep dives, and now streaming, and now gameplay. And now it's quite a lot.
Tune in tomorrow, I guess, is the way. We won't keep going on about it, but like,
come see what we do.
Come see what we do. If you want to support this, become a patron. We have a really clear direction now for the money we make, we're using it to support the entire channel. That includes the streams and everything else we do. So check out our Patreon scheme. It's the link is in the description of the YouTube and the Spotify
and
podcast.
we've got a new partner as well. We've got Metal Fab Tokens is helping supporting us as well with the streams.
Yeah.
He's now just told me that a shipment of tokens for the stream is en route.
Amazing.
Goody surprise.
Ooh,
I love Brandon's surprises. He does do surprises really well.
He's given us something exclusive to drop.
Oh,
that is
and we're working alongside. This may be a bit, maybe old news. We'll see. But we're working alongside another content creator, which Brandon wanted us to work with, to promote this new merchandise that he show off. So, and
interesting.
They're a pretty big channel. They may have started at the same time we did.
and
his name has the same letter as mine. So I didn't know that was coming actually. Yeah, so we're both going to do something like that moving forward. So check that out. So how cool's that?
Also, talking about streams, we are working in conjunction with White Rabbit and Project Pentecost.
This is exciting.
So on the 3rd of June, Saturday the 3rd of June, there is the Battle Hardened in Metropole Ruhr in Germany. And these guys at Project Pentecost are doing something really interesting. They are streaming the event and then asking multiple content creators to restream in their own native language. So for the UK, we are doing the Saturday. Push the Point are doing the Saturday. And
the actual Battle Hardened.
And Go Again Gaming is doing the Sunday, which is the Pro Tour invite, like invitational,
which is almost very similar to a Battle Hardened,
but slightly different.
But it's like Battle Hardened, but not as only one PTI, and
I think the prizes are slightly different. Yeah.
Oh, it's a PTI.
Yeah, it's a PTI win. That's why it's a Pro Tour invite.
That's really cool. Yeah,
the same as our one when we did the Nationals. They did the Pro Tour invite event.
I remember that.
That Rob Catton.
So it's a double event weekend.
Double whammy.
And in the UK, I'll say we'll be doing Push Point. Will be doing the casting on the Saturday. So we're going to be taking their stream, restreaming it with commentary, and I will be joined by our good friend Shin or Sharif to do that on the Saturday. Awesome. So I look forward to seeing you there.
He's a good caster, Shin. Got to give it to him.
We'll be dropping knowledge bombs and opinions all day.
Yeah, he's got good reads. Good reads. Good player.
Very good read. Right.
Should
we talk about
what do we want to talk about first? Should we talk about RTN?
We're
going to talk about Pablo's first up, is he?
Pablo's first. You're calling first.
Take us away, Hamish.
Well, I think it's important to start with that one, I reckon, because the dude's an absolute monster. Right. I was watching this. I was watching the semi-finals, and
if people didn't see that game, please go and watch it.
No, I did.
It is such a good game.
I didn't. Right now, George is actually Yorgos, the guy who I do a lot of interviews. They're very good friends, and George is actually a big fan of the channel as well.
Hi, George.
Hi, George. So thank you. I was actually saying, I'm actually happy either way because both of these dudes are really cool, right? And Yorgos was saying George has been eating Oldhims up all day long, and then I actually watched the game, and when I saw that bloody double death dealer move, and he went from 25 to 3, or 6 even, and I went, I was actually in the garden with Freya, and I just went, turned it off when it's done. Oh, that game's over.
He's finished.
It's finished. What a massive mistake that was. Because I turned it back on and went, the fuck, how did he win?
That 41 damage turn.
How did he win? How did he win?
Patience, right?
He blocked and he blocked and he blocked and he didn't just block, he blocked perfectly. Like I said that immediately after the game, I went onto a couple of our Discords and said it's probably the best game of Flesh and Blood I've ever seen play by play.
Really?
And because it had everything. It had a 41 damage turn from the Lexi. And then there's Pablo on 6 health.
Did he take any more damage?
He did later on in the game, but he blocked. He had Oasis Respites. He gained 2 life back on Oasis Respites. He had a sigil, but I think he'd played his 3 sigils before the 41 damage turn, because that's how he ended up on 6 life. Like,
oh, God, if he didn't have those sigils.
But maybe he played another one later in the game, but he blocked perfectly. He used his shield perfectly. He used Crown of Seeds perfectly, and he just about managed to stave off the damage. Like, he just kept going. He had a brothers in arms at the perfect opportunity to pitch, and he paid for the shield, and he blocked enough, and it stopped him having to get a blood rot token, which would have meant he would have died the next turn. Like, he just played in such a controlled manner. He played through a Channel Lake Frigid.
Channel Lake Frigid?
Yeah, no, Frostlock, sorry. Frostlock.
Oh, Frostlock.
So his shield was costing him more. His Crown of Seeds was costing him more.
God.
He made use of the Codex of Frailties by then being able to crown to prevent more damage when he just put one in Arsenal. Like, it was ridiculously good. And if you want to know how to block in Flesh and Blood, that is now your index case. That is now your...
I will say this. Well done, Pablo. Well done, George. And then we saw the game where Pablo played against Azuri. That was actually really really good as well. Because I sat there and thought, I think Pablo's
Can I just say, because...
And then the Azuri player was like,
yeah,
ain't going out.
Can I just say, before we move on to the Azuri match, because I've spoken a lot about Pablo, George's Lexi play was phenomenal. Like, he played that game so well, and he still couldn't get through.
I think it's just the I think it's they showcased the heroes like amazingly.
Perfectly.
Yeah, they showcased the power of both those heroes, the power of what Lexi, and the power and the stopping power of what Bravo can. Bravo.
Oldhim.
God,
Oldhim.
Jeez.
That does the job.
Oldhim, star of the show.
Yeah, it's absolutely. So I'm not surprised actually George was eating up Oldhim's if this was what he was delivering. Do you know what I mean? Because I think the end.
Well, a lot of people, not being funny, would have lost a head. Yeah. They've gone down to 6. Their opponent's on 38, and they've gone down to 6 life.
And you're the defensive guy. Yeah. And you're on 6, and he's on 38. So, Trev, is there anything you want to throw in?
Not on that game, but the Azuri game, I enjoyed. Like, talk through it, Hamish, because it was a really good fight. It was quite. I don't think it really was cagey. Again, it felt like Pablo felt very in control for a lot of that game and managed to play out a lot of very offensive threats.
It went quicker than I thought it was going to go,
and it felt like he gained a lot of momentum. But then the Azuri really dug in.
Yeah, he wouldn't give up.
Kept the codexes, was just making sure to present. But then Pablo, was blocking out well. I just think it was just such a fantastic demonstration of the game.
Yeah,
if we kind of lost in like aggro matches and proactive decks and like fast games and not blocking, and I think it was a real testament to that side of the game, which was sometimes preventing the damage is as effective as dealing damage, and like extending the game and working through to your second cycle and knowing when to take damage to push out threats. Like, we're seeing, there was turns where the Azuri play was really low and Pablo's got like a Macho Grande in hand, right? And everyone in the chat's going, "Oh, game over, GG." And then, like, the first card Pablo blocks with is the Macho Grande, because he knows what he's trying to do. He's not risking.
He knows his win condition.
He knows he doesn't need to risk. He doesn't need to push for that, because the Azuri's probably got a defense reaction or whatever.
He could. The Azuri is surprisingly pretty good at stopping damage, and she'll just come in and go, "I'm cool with you taking a big hit. You think you get me? I stop it up." It's like a guardian. And just going, and then one, and then one, and you just took all that damage, and I'm just slowly. And I was sitting there thinking, Christ, I did think it was over when he was sitting on 2, and Pablo's sitting there around like, was it 13, 12 or something like that? It's over now. And then even then, I'm like, Jesus Christ, there's bloody Azurita won't give up. But he literally just won't. And he's like, I'm getting you. I'm getting you. And then in the end, he was like, all right, Macho Grande, cool. He dug in. He really was. He took.
But he made sure when he played the
life.
Macho Grande that he had the win. He made sure there was no way that he could block that.
Yeah, he didn't. He didn't play. He got one earlier, and he was like, it wasn't a secured win. It was like, I could take a bunch of damage here, and he had loads of health.
Yeah.
He was so protective of what he knew he needed to do to win the game. He didn't see a hand and then forget about his game plan, which I think a lot of people. I certainly do that sometimes. I see an incredible hand, and I forget what my game plan is.
Yeah.
And sometimes it pays off. Sometimes you just win the game, right? Sometimes you play the Macho Grande.
Final,
they don't have
he didn't want to roll that dice. He needed to be sure.
But that's why he wins, because in those matchups, he
keeps his head.
You want to reduce luck. You want to reduce variance as much as possible, because you're confident in the fact that you are one of the best players of this game. You want as many of the decisions to be decisions that you're making rather than variance, right? And I think I would say, if anyone is wanting to play, even not at that level, just wanting to improve their game, I would watch those top 8 games and just try and look at what's in their hand, and then what they do with what they see in their hands. And I think sometimes you'll see them play and think what you would do in that situation, and then see if they do what you do. Because I think a lot of the time they won't do what you would do.
Yeah.
And that's a sign that maybe you could be playing a little bit better.
The last time I felt like my eyes opened in a way of thinking was when I watched the Greek nationals and I saw Yorgos play Oldhim. And that was when the first time I saw Oldhim be this Oldhim, right? He was like, I think he was up against Breyer. And I just watched him systematically just break everything down that he was doing. And I was like, holy shit, that was done. And I got that again, but weirdly enough, it was because I felt like I played into so much Oldhim, I knew it was coming. I actually was looking at the absolute disruption and menace that is Azuri from the other players' play. I was genuinely pretty scared, going, Jesus Christ, this guy should be out. And it's just how punishing assassins are, especially Azuri, that even on their last legs, they're clawing at you.
Yeah.
And even then, you still can't sit there and
Just,
go, I'll take this hit. Who cares? It's like, no, you can't take this hit. It is so lethal. It could just screw your whole turn up, and you just don't know what's coming. It's incredibly scary, but Oldhim is one of those heroes. And no longer, may we add, no longer will this be the thing, because Pablo has now killed another hero.
Now, he didn't technically kill Chain, but he gave Chain a lot of points, didn't he?
Did he not kill Chain?
No, I've heard people saying he didn't actually LL Chain. He got him up to like
he put him on
number.
He put him into
he put him on the chopping block.
Yeah, he went, here you go, lads. Road to Nationals, take him. If it wasn't for that Pro Tour win, the Road to Nationals would have done it.
But he didn't LLM.
No, he didn't.
And I remember us talking about Oldhim, and we were saying, I think I said it would be weird if Oldhim didn't win a Pro Tour before he LL'd, and then he won the Pro Tour, and then he won this calling, and he really
went out on a
very
high.
fast. And I think that is something we have to really think about for this game going forward, is that
Crown of Seas is really good.
Crown of Seas is very good, but also heroes can really rotate out quite rapidly if they are really good.
Interestingly,
and they have a really good run.
He's been around for 2 years.
Yeah, it's time.
He's had a good run.
A real run. Like I don't think
he's done it. He's done it in a way that he's done properly. Maybe is the word, I don't know. But he's had a slow growth into the game, and then I guess this is indicative of the more controlly heroes. It takes a while to figure out exactly how to utilize them.
If it wasn't for Prism, though.
If it
wasn't for Prism, he would have been probably well out of his way, well out the door.
Well, maybe,
but Prism was the only reason no one played him, because
this is how metas change, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, and then Icelander came over for a bit, and now Oldhim has gone. And look at who else we've got. Icelander's taken a back seat, but interestingly, Breyer's taken a massive back seat, and Breyer was so close.
Briar's doing
Rye
us
got,
this boys a
got
favour.
so close, but now still hasn't got there.
She just turned around. She was literally walking towards the light, looked at Viz, just like on his floor. He's dropped his dinner and he's looking at going, oh, what am I going? And he's like this. Oh, and she's come back to help him out. Well, what are we going to do without you? He's like, please, I'll be useless without you.
It's getting conspiracy level
my Nebula
now.
blade up again.
He's literally out of the whole RTN season. Barry covered it. He went, Briar won an RTN in Ireland. And I was like, well, there's your first one. There's probably more to come. And then I just looked at this week's and went, seriously, Ireland is the only place.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's the only place that's making her go closer. That's wild.
She could live for a while.
She probably could, but I actually had a theory. I still think this theory is true. That I genuinely think LSS, when they were making Dusk Till Dawn last year, whenever it was, they went, Rosetta's gone. For sure. Rosetta's gone. Don't worry, lads. We've built this thing up because there's no Rosetta. And now they're like, you know.
We made a mistake.
We may have
it's
probably
like Dustblade all over again.
Maybe. Well, no, Dustblade was just literally went, fuck it, put it in, I think. But this one, I reckon they went, all right, someone's getting really good for a bit, and then we've got to probably adjust it.
Well, now they printed a 0 for 4, so they printed a better Rosetta, right?
0 for 4
in the whips, right?
Oh, what's that?
Flails.
How's that 0 for 4?
Because you can run 2 of them, and I'm sure we'll get going again from somewhere, right? Well, Shane can shackle, right? Because it's 0 on hit, make a rune chant, 0 on 0 cost, life cost, right?
1 on hit,
1 on hit, make a rune chant, 1 on hit, make a rune chant, 0 for 4.
Look, right. I know that we all turn
That's
around.
A stretch.
They've you know,
the double Titan's fist, yeah. That's the thing.
yeah, double Titan's fist.
Double Winter's Whale, man.
Well, it was double Winter's Whale, wasn't it? To start with.
It's a specialization, right? It's a chain
only her.
It's only her. Yeah.
We're talking of specializations, though. Just quickly while we're on the topic, Shiana now has a specialization.
Oh.
But also, Shiana can run the flail, so good luck with that.
What does Unity mean? Unity!
Unity!
If you block with it and another card, you get an extra effect, right?
With 2 cards, you get a big effect. But we don't know what that effect is because it's an eloquence token, is that right?
It's like frailty and blood rots all over again. They'll go, get a frailty token.
What is it?
What does it mean?
Don't forget, this is super early preview season. This is, I think...
Do you think we're getting a Shiana reprint?
No.
Do you think?
It's a possibility.
In like a different art, kind of like what they did with Iceland.
I think this is a Yorick sort of deal where they go, do you have a Yorick from Pro Tour 1? No. Oh, well, here's some more shit for him.
I think we might get a
UPF stuff.
Maybe. I think we might get an alt art Shiana.
You know what's going to piss me off? You know what's going to piss me off more than anything? Is when people who get their cases, right? And I am going to be one of them. And this fucking card will be cold foil. And it'll go, there you go.
There's your cold foil
card. This card's dog shit, man.
You could literally trade that card for pretty much anything you would want in the set, though, right?
So really, will people?
Yeah,
it's like it feels like a cold foil pulse.
Come on,
we've covered this. This is waifu tax.
Yeah, exactly.
It's true. We've got
any Prism stuff, any Shiana stuff.
Okay,
it's going.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to get
add an extra 0.
Sorry to do a cheeky podcast plug, but if you want to get your Dusk Till Dawn cases, why don't you consider becoming a Push the Point patron to get your 5% discount at Living Realms online store?
It's actually a deal.
It is actually
a bloody good deal because it's not. You look at their website and it'll go, "Oh, you want to buy a case? It's got this % off," and then have another 5 on top of that.
Yeah, if you
really good.
So far, people haven't quite picked up on it, but it's very good economic. We say this every time. It's very good economical sense.
Yes, it does. You could literally be a patron
to help you,
and from the whole
us to help you.
You would save more money being a patron for us for 4 months. Literally, you could be a £3 patron or £5 patron. Do the 10 though, but you could be a patron for 4 months, and the second you buy a case, you save money.
Yeah, that's really true. So consider it.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about Dusk Till Dawn. I know we all are. I don't want to
Are we done with
Dawn
Oldhim?
too much because
I think I think we need to hold it back. Like,
yeah, we've got so much other current stuff we need to cover, but we are all hyped for that. I love Shadow Runeblade. Hamish is going to get a bunch of tools for Viscerai.
And
Simon loves
Bolton
Shadow Runeblade
and
too.
Shadow
You're a big
Runeblade.
chain
I do like a
player.
chain.
Yeah,
like a
Bolton's getting stuff,
Yeah.
so it's a set. It's a set we're all pretty interested in. Yeah.
I wonder if there'll be some sort of Shadow Ninja, like an Ira Shadow Ninja.
Please don't.
Anyway, so
are we
done?
Would literally empty Trip's pockets.
Are we done with? So Oldhim's out. What does that mean?
Oldham's out.
What does that mean?
Well, I've seen, Hamish, that you've been stirring the pot on social media a little bit, like.
Well,
just
I
asking the questions.
I will premise and say it doesn't matter, right? Unless you've got a battle hard in between now.
All right, the Rock.
And but after RTN, like we're in that weird June limbo phase of it actually will matter to a select group of people who are going to a battle hardens after RTN.
Yeah.
So don't get me wrong, I'm not. We are going to push forward to this question. The big vast majority of us, it is a little bit like, it's fine. Dust of Dawn is coming out, and it'll change again.
Yeah,
I think it does matter.
Well, it does matter. I suppose I'm being short-term thinking.
I know there's going to be a bunch of new heroes, and that's going to change the meta. But if we just look at decks like Katsu, right? Like Katsu at the moment, we're running like three or four cards for the Oldhim matchup. You know, that's a big change. That's a big
as well.
And like a couple of people, you throw a couple of cards in, like it's incredible. It's really interesting with these really tight deck lists like Katsu, where you're like, actually, this free space I have now does make a big difference. Now, one thing I would say is a lot of people have kind of sacked off the Oldhim matchup anyway, and just don't tech for it, because it's quite rare, especially in the tournaments I play, for there to be any more than, say, 2 Oldhim at the entire tournament. It's just not a very popular hero.
It is a popular hero,
so let's just say it this way. At the local level and regional level events, it wasn't played much because you would go to time.
Are you joking? They're fucking everywhere in my town.
Okay.
George Rogers and Jacob Clements just go home.
Northampton has all the Oldhams.
Well, yeah, Jacob Clements.
I'm with you,
Oxford.
Trip. I don't come up against them regularly. Even at RTN level, we have even at RTN level, we haven't seen them come out in the same proportion that they have done in the Pro Tour and in the calling.
In your area.
Yeah.
In our areas. Well, no, in the RTNs that we've had in the UK so far.
You got to play your local. You got to play your local meta.
Yang went to bloody the RTN that I went to. He just won the whole thing. But I will say, he was the only Oldhim, I think.
That's the same thing that happened at Rule Zero. Jacob, there might be another Oldhim. Forgive me if there was, but Jacob came at Rule Zero, played Oldhim, won the whole thing.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm thinking is like, do you if you know there's only going to be one, why sideboard for it?
Yeah,
like,
I do. I'm literally going. It's one of those things where I'm like, Oldhim is actually an incredibly good hero. If someone just rocks up with it and you're not prepared, you kind of are doomed.
Yeah.
You are pretty doomed. He's
if it's a good Oldhim player, you've got no chance.
Yeah, exactly. So in my head, I'm one of those people that doesn't want to. For Guardians in general, I'm like, no, there's going to be Guardians. There's always Guardians. Like Kano is one of those heroes that are like, they're crack sniffing wild cards. You know what I mean? These guys are on like something else. But Guardians,
if they find the combo, they find the combo.
I can't. But with Guardians, I'm just a little bit like,
you have to have something.
They're gonna be here, and I'm gonna be pissed off I couldn't beat him. Whereas Kano's like, well, fuck it. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, we'll see what happens. But Guardians are so consistent, so deliberate, so controlling, so like you just get slammed out the door. So yeah.
Oh, Hamish.
Yeah.
On that note, how did your day at Alpha Games go for the RTN?
Went all right.
It went all right.
It was all right.
Look at him.
Is it worth the?
What?
Did you qualify for Nats?
Yeah, I did.
Yay!
Well done, amigo.
Thank
you went all the way to Alpha Games. You just drove straight past Birmingham.
I didn't. I didn't.
Left us boys up.
You do realise I didn't drive past Birmingham.
Yeah, but it was closer.
I literally went left is 2 minutes, 2 minutes away from my house, or an hour and a half. Hour and a half, because everyone else is going that way. No,
you made the right decision.
Manaleek wasn't even on. When I see the event showed up, I went, I've got to get. I said, I don't give a shit. I'm going to, and I've been to Alpha Games. So I went, I don't give a shit. I'm going. And then they
Alpha's
went,
a bit of a like. A lot
fun.
of people like to go.
It's really good. The vibe is
it,
amazing. The place is lovely. Everyone is really friendly. It's just, they've got a fish and chip shop literally just around the corner, and the chips are fucking lush. It's brilliant. We went there last time, and the store and everyone's lovely. Now,
we've all got to go to Alpha one day, all three of us. Just go to an RTN.
Yeah, we
together.
could do that.
That'll be
I mean, it's not too
Where
bad
is it
for
again?
you, Simon.
Tell me where.
Stanton, in the middle of nowhere. It's literally in the
it's
field.
Miles from you, Simon. It's absolutely miles.
Where's Stanton?
It's like we're talking like Norwich, kind of.
Oh, Norwich. Okay.
Yeah,
Norfolk.
It's not in Norwich, but it's like that. It's in the Bulge, right?
I'm from Norwich.
Yeah, it's in the Bulge.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it is a trek.
Tell us about your tournament.
I will wrap it up quite cleanly. It was a 5-round tournament, and I won my first game against Story, lost a game against Alexi, although I did deliver the most insane turn to him and still lost, which I thought was a little bit unfair. I did
rude.
I did 16. I literally finished up this entire Mad Mordred Tide Revel. Red. It was literally Mordred, Red Skies, Gloom, Revel, 16 rune chance, CNC.
Oh,
into his Lexi, and I still lost. And in the next turn, I draw cash in. I was like, "This is going good," and I still lost. So
yeah, it's Lexi, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Lexi.
They can always do more.
Lost that one, so then I was like, "I think I'm doomed." I literally went into the doom cycle.
You're fine.
And then I played up against Dromai, and
yeah,
that went well.
We love a Dromai.
Well, when you're a Viscerai,
we all love a Dromai.
All three of us love a Dromai.
Literally, he did go. Nah, I was sitting there thinking, no, don't roll this one out. Dromai can get you. You know, Dromai can just present, but not as a Viscerai player. He can just present a bit of a mad board state. I even took 2 Vincericais to the face because my life lead was. I was like, well, I need it. I was like, I do need this Vincerikai because I have a Red Skies and a Blue Vexin Malice that needs.
Yeah.
I don't want to do 2. I want to do exact health. I want.
I will take the Vincerikai down.
I want pure value. Oh, there's a Vincerikai and a Chromite. Oh my god, the value of this stuff. So yeah, that went pretty well. Then I went and played. It was another Lexi. I went, that's it, tournament. There was 2 Lexis in the whole event. I played them both.
There was 2. There was only 2.
Only 2. It was insane. I was sitting there going, "This." Yeah, you should have. It was literally 2. There was Briar there. There was 2 Briars, 2 Viscerais, quite a few Dromais, a Dorinthia, and 1 Oldhim and 2 Lexi, and 1 Azure.
And the Oldhim took it away.
And it was Yang. He just showed up and cleaned up. He would literally went undefeated. But yeah, the he's very good. He's a very, very loud, like, and I was like, that's all I know him as. And the second I played him, he went, right, work mode. He was like, I was like, I said, Yang, you're a completely different human being when we're playing the game. And he went, and he just laughed. I went, oh, sorry. Anyway, but I'll get to that. So played against Alexi. I went, right, okay, basically this game, unfortunately, resolves around the dice roll. So he rolls a 9. Okay, I roll a 9. It's like, fate has it. He rolls a 4. I roll a 7. Hey, this is a good start. You're going first. I'm not going first. You are. So yeah, then I start my turn up, and yeah, pretty much did incredibly well. Point where he did get me down to 3 health with the Blood Rock Pox, but I kept my whole hand, and the Mad Lad busted his bullseye bracers to get me, and then I went, cool. I've got Mordred Tide and Ralbert. Yeah. He's on 4 health, so game's over. Yeah, so that one. And then my last game was against my traveling companion Dimitri on Azuri.
Hey.
And I literally went and looked at him and he laughed. I laughed. Dimitri's now 3. He's locked. He went 3-0 on his first 3 rounds. So he's locked in. And he looked at me and I said, look, if you want to lift home. And we laughed. And either way, he just said, but let's play it. We played it out. And I actually smashed the shit out of him. I actually thought, fuck, I'm going to lose. And he went, oh. He didn't care. He was in anyway. So, but I smashed the fuck out of it. But cool, I'm in the top 8. Azalea now in the top 8.
Yeah.
But I'm 4th, he's 5th. So guess I'm going first. So I'll go first. It was fucking brutal. Not nice at any given point. It was basically me blocking 3 and going, oh, having some damage. I'm just keeping him with me the whole way. And then I had a hand where I had I had an Arsenal. I had a Revel in Arsenal. I have a movable, Spellblade Assault, Gloom, Become the Art Knight. I've got a Revel in Arsenal. And for it, I actually took, I think it was 10 damage to put me down to 3. And he's on 18. I went, I could block this up. Or I can play this out.
I've got the kill turn here.
Well, not the kill turn. I thought, well, I've got to play this out. I've got to play the game, right? And I thought I had a Blue Skies in Arsenal. So I play the Become, get rid of the Spellblade Assault. I went, right, let's have a look. Okay, so get rid of the Spellblade Assault. I'll get another Revel. Cool. So
interesting.
Gloom,
Okay.
Gloom. Coming in for 3. And 2, I had 2 Arcane as well. So he's on 18 health. I'll take the 2 Arcane down to 16. 3 physical go again. Take the 3 down to 13. Cool. Revel.
10.
Keep the unmovable. My hand.
Right.
Pop this spell. Pop my chest.
Yeah. Aether Wave.
13 arcane damage and sorry, 1 physical because there was a frailty. So he decides. He decides I'm going to pitch 1 red and go down to 1.
Yeah.
And then I'll block with my helmet. Done. All right, I Arsenal up.
Unmovable.
Your turn, I guess. I'm on 3. You're on 1. And I've still got Spellbound and Creepers not blocked and Grass not blocked. Draw a blue attack. Blue attack. Blue lead the charge. Sonata.
Oh.
So he goes, okay, well, that's it. And he didn't even think for a second. He went, pump card, tunic, red and a ledger for 14. I was like, I've got an immovable. Got a Vexing Malice. Could I try and keep the 2 cards and Vexing Malice him? And then I was like, no, the math doesn't pan out. And I looked at the creepers and went, and literally said to him, am I doing this? Am I doing this? And he went, are you doing what? Oh, fuck it. Blocks with Vexing Malice.
Yeah.
And creepers. Okay. Activate creepers.
Pitch. How many did you pitch for?
I literally went, okay, activate creepers, pitch the blue. But all right, Snarter, he went, oh, fucking, he's got no resources. He's on 1 health. And I went, right, pitch him 4. Okay. Attack action. Mordred Tide, GG. Oh my god, I stole that shit. And he went, what would be the next one if I wanted to keep the last one? And it was I think Skies, so 2 Arcane.
You didn't steal it though.
No, I know I didn't. He chose to go down that low. I was sitting there going, going down to 1 against me is really, really brave. I'm not gonna lie. I know I'm not in a good spot, but dude.
And he presented 14 damage, which is a lot, to be fair. But like
I could have blocked it out. And I asked, but what made me do it? What made me thought I was died? Because I genuinely thought, oh, this is dominated. But it wasn't. I did a Simon at UK Nats. Oh, this is dominated. It's not dominated.
That still haunts me.
It still haunts you. Yeah, but I did that.
I would have lost that. I would have lost that game anyway. I'll be honest.
So that's what happened. That's what got into the top 4. Then I played Yang and lost because after turn 4 playing, I realized I didn't put a tunic in.
Yeah.
So I went, why have I? Where's my tunic? Oh, you've won. Literally went, "You've won." And he went, "Yeah, I know I've won." I was like, "For fuck's sake, I know you've won." Literally 3 turns, I do this big, huge Spellblade Assault into I could play another attack and then play play another Skies and into an Amplify the Art Knight. And I have 1 resource remaining, and you're a dickhead because you've got that shield and I don't have a tunic.
Yeah.
So I knew he was just going to shut down the big turns, and he did that 3 times in a row.
The frosty shield, right?
Frosty shield.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like, "You're a dickhead. You got that
yeah.
frosty shield. I can't play my turn. Fuck you."
Mm.
I can't even bait Tunic out. I can't even bait out Reveling when he decides he's going to do his frost attack and goes, "All right, I'm gonna put the card on top," and I go, "Well, before you do that, I'll just creepers and play it out." So yeah, all that, all the stuff I did to Francesco, I couldn't do it to Yang. But anyway, who gives a shit? The guy's gone. So.
Yeah, it's
How was your RTN weekend?
Oh, sorry, that was a long chat. I do apologize.
That's all right. That was probably the longest short chat.
I love how he's like, "I'm going to summarize this cleanly."
Yeah, like quickly. But I wanted to hear.
It had some vibe to it.
Games.
I did. Games. It was a good day out, man. Well done.
And James Ashall, the mad lad, he decided the other opponent was on 1 health, and he decided he was going to swing his Rosetta to win the game at Muragai. So I thought it was so insane. I thought I'd mention it here.
Did he win the game?
No, of course he didn't, because he swung it at Muragai. He literally could have swung it at him. I don't know what happened.
Okay. Anyway. So I did 2 RTNs.
Okay.
I'll talk about Mana League. I'll talk about Mana League first, which was last Saturday.
Why?
Because I didn't do very well at that one.
Oh, okay.
I think I didn't really. I teched my deck for Oldhim. There was no Oldhim. I would say I had two games that I lost, which were way better than the 2 games that I won. First game was against Paul of the Nottingham crew on Lexi. It was a classic. We were both down to 1 health.
Wait, Paul of the Nottingham crew?
Is he Nottingham? Is he Nottingham?
Manchester.
Paul? Is he Manchester? Sorry, Paul.
Oh, same thing.
You mean?
Yeah, his name's Paul.
Paul, right?
Does he not play in the Nottingham Armories?
No. He's Manchester.
Why would he?
God, sorry, Paul. Can't believe that I associated you with the Nottingham Armories.
I know.
But, anyway, it was a classic. Like we both played it very well. Both down to 1 health. The mistake I made was I didn't push the damage with breaking scales early. I kept it to try and use it to get a break point later. But that meant when I was pushing to force a block, he was able to block with 2 cards in Tunic rather than 3 cards. That led to a much stronger slap back, and then it just went from there. But it was like one of those games where I was like, I didn't necessarily think that was the bad decision, because it's
hindsight,
also really,
it cost you, but it was
in hindsight it felt like the wrong
decision.
It was good. But it could have also been that meant that I could go Kodachi like Whelming Gustway for 3 and make it actually it's 4, which forces a 4-card block or something at one point.
Interesting, isn't it? When you have to use these equipment at the right time.
It's like one of those things. Second game was against Bravo, against a long time push the point listener. So thank you very much. That was a good game. I did win that one. I then played against
who was it?
I can't recall the name. I could check it up on the tournament, but I'm not gonna. But thank you for the great game. I gave him a sticker, so not too bad. Game 3, I managed to pair into the only Dramai at the tournament, which is another reason why I was not having the best time, because there was 1 Dramai, but I did manage to find them. Yeah, it was a win. It feels like cheating playing Katsu against Dramai. It genuinely feels like cheating. Like every turn, if they have a dragon, it's just like, okay, I can swap a card in my hand with a card in my deck, like just for free, because I can just always hit with my first attack. And then you know, or I can just get mask value. It's absolutely bonkers. The 4th game I played against Ollie. I think he is of the Nottingham.
Yeah, he's a lovely guy.
Really nice guy. Played Control Azuri, like fatigue Azuri, which I really wish I'd realized before the game started, because I went aggro. So I didn't have any of my fatigue tools, but it was one of those games where I was just like,
did he deck you out?
He did deck me out.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I was like, But I was just like, I have the tools for this. I'm like, this is fine. If I played it again, I would feel really comfortable going into that matchup with all of my recursion, knowing what to what to do, because I didn't even have my Snapdragons. So if I'd had my Snapdragons, I could have at one point in the game could have easily done Megenshi's Lord of Wind with like 3 blues and just fetched literally every single card from my grave back in, and that would have been really, really cool.
I should probably apologize for that trip, because
he said he plays against you a lot, and
I
kick his ass.
I mean, I played Ollie in the final of our Armory on Wednesday before Mana League.
Yeah.
And he gave a good game, but he's still learning how to play against Katsu with Azuri. So he'd obviously took some of the lessons and put them against you.
He went full fatigue, and because I wasn't decked for it, I was like, okay, I just have no deck. But it was a really good game. Like that game and the game against Paul was so much better than my wins. Like the game against Bravo was really fun. The game against Dromai was really fun. It's always fun winning. But those 2 games, I felt like I was enjoying the game more, because there were so many more decisions to make. It was so much tighter than the other games. And then in the 5th game, I lost the Katsu mirror. I got completely screwed over by the Uri, the chess piece that blocks for 5 and a chain link 4.
Yeah, I was sitting there thinking, why? I thought that card would literally be sneaking in now.
It did screw me, because of the way it works with bonds. So any other turn, it's very simple to just go attack, 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 break the chain, attack, attack, attack. And then you never get to the chain link 4. You never have to worry about your right.
Yeah.
But the trouble is with bonds is that if you go surging, gust wave, bonds, the next card has to be played on that chain. The bonds target has to be played on that chain.
So that
you have to go up to 4.
Yeah.
So unless you go, descendant bonds, then the next one, then break the chain, you could do that, but you're losing so much damage. That's not what I had. So I was really confident. I felt great. I went second. I was in control of the game. And then I was like, right, I've got enough damage here. I'm going to go down to 1, because I was like, I've got this. He's not on very much health. And then he goes, so I go surging. He then goes flick flack red, blocks for 4. I then go gust wave. He then blocks for 5. I then go blah 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 bonds for 4. He takes the 4. I then play a card. He blocks for 5. So with 2 cards,
he blocked 14 damage.
He blocked 14 damage, and I was like, "Oh, I'm playing against Chain." It's like he had Husk. It was Husk.
We said that when we saw that. It's like Husk, but everyone went, it's dog shit. But when will it ever get played? And it turns out LSS knows that they're going to put a card called Bonds of Ancestry in, and that card is going.
That card is nuts.
That card's going to be a thing.
Like, now I came. No, I want to say because I came out of this. I was WhatsApping Simon. I was like, Simon, Blazing Your Eyes, bro, is meta. We've got to put it on all our decks. And then I sat back and I was like, well, no, because actually, Blazing Your Eye blocks 5. Heart and Cross Strap stops you from losing the game, right? Like if you're in an aggro mirror, you draw a red surging and 3 other reds. Heart and Cross Strap means you're not losing that game. If you don't have it, you could easily be losing that game. Like it's easily like so. Blazing Your Eye can be really, really good, but if Heart and Cross Trap is enabling 5 damage, and it's not, it's enabling way more than 5 damage. Like it's enabling your surging and then the rest of your line.
I mean,
would it be a control Katsu style? Wouldn't that card?
I still think if you're going control Katsu, Tunic is better. Yeah. So, Yoroi is why for resource generation. Yoroi, is a ninja mirror card, specifically a anti-Fi card.
For Lava Burst.
For Lava Burst, for Rupture. That's all. That's the main thing. Like, there aren't any other mechanics apart from, as Trip says, bonds where it needs to be part of the same chain that need 4 chain links, and Yoroi is specifically the 4th chain link or higher.
Yeah.
So
even Thymir
it can't even stop it can't even stop your Mass Trigger, because it just blocks for 1 otherwise.
But anyway, I ended up going 2-3. It was an interesting tournament. Like I didn't eat and talk about this a lot of tournaments where like don't eat properly. The venue was pretty far. It was like one of those ones you got to buzz in, so didn't really feel like I could go out for lunch or anything. Should have brought lunch with me. It's all mistakes, but I want to talk more about Rule Zero, which was the weekend before we made the top 8.
And the one that was streamed.
Was one that was streamed. This was the first time I was playing Katsu in Classic Constructed since Road to Nash, the first ever Road to Nationals, where I played it once in the lead up to Road to Nationals and then switched to Chain because I thought Chain was better. So I was a bit not rusty. I was literally just
going in blind.
Going in blind.
Going in dry.
Matched up against so basically it was a bit of a meta call. Like it was one of those ones where I thought there was going to be no Dramai at Rule Zero originally, and then I just kept hearing people saying they were going to take Dramai, and then I'd already pretty much locked in at Katsu at this point, but I was like, okay, there's going to be a bunch of Dramai. I built a very weird Dramai, a very weird Katsu deck with Soulbeat Strike, Crane Dance, and Fine Center, because I was like, that gives me game into Lexi, it gives me really good game into Dramai, especially if they try to fatigue me, because I can use Fine Center to deal guaranteed damage once they've blocked with their Furnace. And yes, it did go really well because I won my first game against Dory. I lost to Finbar, who was playing Fi, which I was very sad about because I was like, I love Fi. Losing to Fi is so unsatisfying. He just had a really good Art of War turn. And then I played 3 Dramai in a row, and 2 of them weren't even close. Last one was against Jamie Faulkner. I did get quite lucky. He didn't draw into his equipment eater until very, very late. I was on like 25 health, and it was like, I'm never killing that now. I'm just attacking you. And he was just dealing 5 damage a turn. I was like, well, I got 5 turns to kill you. And I managed to E-strike sync a CNC, so I knew I had something to kill with in the late game, and he didn't know about it, which is what you got to do against Jamie, because Jamie is like, I've seen every single card you pitched, I know exactly what's in your deck, and I was like, you don't, Jamie, because there's one card that I was able to hide from you with E-strike, and it's like that's the one card he doesn't know about. So that's literally when you're playing against these players. Like,
I think people forget how useful E-strike is when it sinks and sink below, because it's unknown to the opponent. Everything you pitch can be tracked, and I'm not being funny, but players at our level might disregard that as a tactic. Players at Pablo and Jamie and Matt Fawkes and Michael Hamilton's level, they are watching what you pitch and they know what's coming around on the second cycle.
Yeah, they have a good. Yeah, they'll go. That's about 10 turns away.
Yeah,
that's about.
That's the beauty of Katsu, though, is you shuffle your deck all the time, so they can't keep
true.
That's why I play Viscerai and go, oh, what's this? Oh, I know what's happening. Yeah, Sonata, fuck your shit.
Sonata.
And then I don't want to talk about it for too much longer, but I was really happy beating Jamie. He's a really good player. I was obviously playing a very hard counter to his deck, but still happy. And then I got into the top 8. I played against Alex Chitu. And if you want to know the outcome of that game, you can watch the first ever episode of Push to Point Classic Battles, which is me and Simon doing commentary of that game. It's already had really good reception and lots of views. So you can hear me talk about my decisions, and Simon, as a more experienced Katsu player, kind of giving his view on like that isn't necessarily one major thing I did wrong, which neither of us disagreed on. But I think up until that point it was okay.
I actually did notice. I was watching that game, going, this is a classic. Me and Simon know this game well. We've
played many times.
We've been around this street before.
So if we had to take 2 heroes to be the first 2 heroes for our new series of classic battles, I think Viscerai and Katsu are the 2.
It's the one where I go, this is bullshit. And then we actually had a game not so long ago and went, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
Going, this is bullshit.
So I haven't qualified. I was just gonna say I haven't qualified for nationals yet, but I'm pretty much in on XP anyway. But got another RTN coming up on Saturday, so we'll see how that goes. Which is also being streamed on Push the Point. So
Hamish and I, back to nostalgia. I set up very early on in the online Fab days in the UK. I set up a UK-based Fab League.
Yeah,
that's how we met.
That's how we met.
And
the first game we ever played.
Kylo Ren.
What?
Is that what your Discord picture is? Kylo
Revan.
Whatever. I was like, who's this fucking Kylo Ren?
Oh, I remember that. Oh, it's still there.
Yeah, I do remember that because it's right in front of me.
The first game we ever played was Viserai versus Katsu, and I completely disrespected Viserai, and I lost to Hamish, and then I beat him in the top cut after that.
I when you lost, you were like, I've never lost to Viserai before, and I was like, yeah, growing my ego. And yes, I did lose in the top 8. You learned.
Yeah, but that was good times, and that was the first time Hamish and I ever spoke to each other, and from it grew a
shit channel. So speaking of that, so I think we should. Have we got any more? We should wrap up. It's like an hour 10.
Yeah, it's been a long one, but we've had a lot to talk about, I guess. And like, there's a lot of exciting stuff happening in Fab. To be honest with you,
yeah,
like, it's been really good.
We did have
yeah. Oh, go on.
We did have one Patreon question which we're going to save till next time.
Yeah, sorry, here's a long one.
Sorry, Mark. But it's interesting based around the use of precons as an official format, and we'll talk about that a bit more next time.
Is it not a quick answer? My answer, he basically asked, can you build a precon instead of buy the precon and take the precon deck and build? My answer would be yeah, why not?
With reference to Skirmish Season 7, including the precon Blitz as an official format for that season of Skirmish. Okay. Mark Armitage, one of our patrons, asked, should people be able to build the deck card for card at home and play it in an official event? I would like to say I don't see why not, but at the same time, unless you're giving out the decks and opening them on the day, there's more of a chance of.
Yeah, you could turn around and go, "Oh, I thought this card was in it," or just save the bullshit by the deck.
I don't know. I think it's fine to just build it. Like, how are they going to know?
Well, people.
Well, they could know because you're buying it there.
Oh, they'll have the codes at the bottom, right? Like, I feel like if you've already bought one of the HP1 ones, you should be able to bring it along. Like, that feels silly.
Yeah, I think that would be fine.
I think that's fine if you bought one previously.
Yeah,
you take that to all your
also, people. I mean, if you built your deck at home and it wasn't card for card, people would notice by the end of the day, right?
Yeah, and I think if you've bought one of the official products, you should be allowed to use that.
I think you can.
Building your own one, I'm not so sure about that. I think it's good to buy the.
I agree with you, Trip. If buy one of your starter decks.
I think that's fine. Yeah, no, I think that is allowed. What Mark is asking is, can you build it from cards you already have at home?
I'm going to say no. I think just if you've already got one, that's fine. I think it'd be good. Buy one, give it to a new player.
But also, it's good for the game store. Like, I'm not.
I guess you could build one and give it to a new player. So
it's good. Yeah, it's good. It's good for the game store.
The real question is, why is the Viserai one so much better than all the others? That's what I just want to say. Have you looked at it? It's got Belittle Minnowism.
It's a big deck. Yeah, it's a pretty powerful deck.
No, it's not got Skies. It has got Shrill and Captain's Call. And
how are you going to get your go again?
Maybe it does have Skies. If it doesn't have Skies, I'm going to say I don't care what shit. How many Belittles you've got?
Lead the charge.
Lead the charge.
I was going to lead the charge.
Look, it's really good. It's really good.
Anyway, sorry, we're not going to leave that till next week because we just answered
Shrill and Skies. Yeah, it's fucking broken.
I think it's got. Has it got Shrill? We'll find out if it's got Shrill.
Yeah.
Comment below if it's got Shrill in it.
Yeah.
If you're still
Skies, it's got Shrill in it. It's definitely got Shrill.
And Belittle.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We love you for doing that. Come and join our Patreon, which means you get access to our Discord where all of the good chat goes down.
Oh yeah.
And keep an eye out for tomorrow's Bad Moon Cafe stream.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be there in person, so you get to see me draft Outsiders. I've never done that before. I always like to go in Raw, guys, and thank you for a lovely.
That's what you said.
Keep an eye out for our Metropole Raw stream and casting.
Raw and Raw. And God, it's gone. We didn't even do Gardener's time.
We haven't got time.
Next episode, we'll do a lovely episode of Gardener's Time.
Briar's Garden. See you later, everyone.
Love you. Bye.